Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to go over how to create linear equations given 2 points. So remember that the slope-intercept form of a linear equation is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So for this video, we're going to be breaking down a little bit more about these terms, slope, y-intercept, and then introducing the x-intercept. And then we have a few examples to go over. All right, so first talking about slope, which is commonly known as m in slope-intercept form. Slope is the measure of steepness of a line. And you should have seen in the graphical analysis of linear equations assignment that the greater the value of slope, the more steep the line becomes. So measure of steepness of a line. And the slope m is also equal to the rise over the run. Or this can be known as the vertical change over the horizontal change. All right, so let's see this graphically. I'll draw a arbitrary line. So we have this line, let's call it L. And let's choose 2 points on this line. So I'll choose this one, and I'll call this x1, y1, and then choose this point, and this will have coordinates x2, y2. So to find the slope, if we were to choose any 2 points on a line, we just had to find the rise and run between those 2 points. So what do I mean by that? The rise is the vertical change from one point to another. So the rise, and then we have the run, which is the horizontal change here. Run. All right, so with that being said, if we want to create a formula for finding the slope when we're given 2 points, we could say that it is equal to the vertical change, which is y2 minus y1, over the horizontal change, which is x2 minus x1. Moving on to the y-intercept. So this is the point where the line intersects the y-axis. So if we were to draw another line here, the y-intercept is at this point right here where it intersects the y-axis. So 0, and this is always written as b because in the slope-intercept form, we always have b being the y-intercept. So this is known as b, and this is the point where the line intersects the y-axis. And can always be written, this point can always be written as zero b. All right, so that's the y-intercept, the point where the line intersects the y-axis. And so what do you think the x-intercept is? It's just the point where the line intersects the x-axis instead. So let me change my color here. So the x-intercept is the point where a line, go back to color code here. It's the point where our line intersects the x-axis. We can always write this point as some x-coordinate, I'll call it x1, 0. And so this is the point where the line intersects the x-axis. And always can be written as x1, comma 0. Okay. So, also I forgot to mention for the x-intercept and y-intercepts, how we find them is by substituting in 0. So for the y-intercept, let's go back here. The y-intercept can be found by substituting 0 in for x, and then solve for y. For y. And on the other hand, for the x-intercept, we substitute 0 for y and solve for x. All right, so that's a little bit about the x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope. So let's see an example of when we actually have 2 points and we're expected to find a line passing through those 2 points. So in this case, we're asked to find just the slope of the line passing through the points -4, -5, and 8, 1. So here, we're only tasked with finding the slope. So remember that m represents slope, and that is equal to the rise over the run. And as we said earlier, if we refer back to this formula right here, m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so let's first identify what x1, x2, y1, y2 are. So this one is x1, y1, 8 is x2, 1 is y2. So now we just substitute these values into the formula. So y2 is 1, y1 is -5, x2 is 8, y1 is -4. And remember that when we have a minus, a negative, this becomes a plus. So this becomes a plus. So this is 1 plus 5 is 6, and 8 plus 4 is 12. So m equals 6 over 12, and this can be reduced down to 1 over 2, 1/2. So m equals 1/2. So if we were to graph the line that passes through these 2 points, the slope of that line would be 1 over 2. All right, moving on to the next example. So find the equation of the line that passes through the points 7, 12, and -1, 3. So the difference between these two problems is the first one we were just expected to find the slope, whereas here we're expected to find the entire equation. And so let's first start out by writing the slope-intercept form of an equation. So y equals mx plus b. So we want to find the equation where these 2 points lie on it. Okay, So what we're expected to do here is to find the value of m and to find the value of b. So first step is to find the slope, which is the same process that we just followed in the last example. So that is equal to the rise over run. And so if we identify what x1, y1, x2, y2 are, y2 is 3, y1 is 12, x2 is -1, x1 is 7. So 3 minus 12 is -9, and -1 minus 7 is -8. And this becomes a negative over a negative becomes a positive, so we have 9 over 8. So m equals 9 over 8. So what we could do now is substitute this value of m into our equation. So y equals 9 over 8x plus b. And now we're just expected to find b. We found m, now we just have to find b. So we plug in one of our points into this equation and then solve for b. So let's choose a point, and I'll choose this point right here, 7, 12. So plug 7, 12 into y equals 9/8 x plus b. Remember that 7 is x and 12 is y, so we have 12 equals 9/8 times 7 plus b. And so now we just follow similar steps to solve for the variable b. So 12 equals 9 times 7 is 63 over 8 plus b. And to get b by itself, we have to subtract 63 over 8 to both sides. So 12 times 8 is, so if we have 12 minus 63 over 8 equals b. So 12, in order to add these two numbers together, we have to make 12 into a fraction. So we can do that by multiplying 12 by 8 over 8. So 12 times 8 is 96 over 8 minus 63 over 8. And since these have a common denominator now, we can subtract them. So this would be 96 minus 63 over 8 equals b. 96 minus 63 is 33 over 8 equals b. So we just found our b, and we have our m. So our last step is to just plug this value of b into our equation right here. So we have y equals 9 over 8x plus 33 over 8. All right, and we'll continue with the next example in the next video. Thanks, guys.